It's taken us weeks to get answers, but tonight we have brand new information about the death of a local inmate inside a jail. Alan Willison was arrested on a forgery charge last fall and died weeks later. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie spoke with the county medical examiner today, and Mark Willison's death certificate says he had cancer and it was complicated by neglect.
And Alan Willison's mom told me by phone she read the report today about how her son died, and she broke down and cried. We tried by email, phone, and text to reach Sheriff Levon Allen for a response. I also walked up that walkway to a public counter to see if we could reach someone who would speak with us about this. But Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office records say a lot.
If he would have received a little bit more food, if he was in a little bit more sterile environment, if he didn't have people beating him up, he didn't have that level of stress, and if he got some relief from the discomfort that he had to suffer through, he might have had a better chance at survival. And if anything, he would have had a little bit more peaceful death.
According to the Clayton County Medical Examiner's Office director, the documents detail how death came for Clayton County jail inmate Alan Willison January 26th. And it was an unusual case. A death certificate listing the immediate cause as metastatic testicular carcinoma complicated by medical neglect.
He did die from testicular cancer, but there was a lot of elements that probably contributed to how quick it progressed.
But Director Brian Byers says it basically lists several significant contributing conditions: inadequate and unhygienic living conditions while incarcerated, medical neglect while incarcerated, malnourishment while incarcerated, sequelae of physical abuse while incarcerated. Do we know if Alan Willison would have survived stage 4 cancer were he not a Clayton County jail inmate?
We don't really have a way of determining that in our office, but I do feel like he would be much more comfortable in his last days if he was not there.
How often is your son's death with you?
Oh, every day.
That was Willison's mom, Tracy Emerson, in a story last month. She indicated Willison was in the jail on a forgery charge he denied. One document says witnesses and the deceased in emails detailed horrible living conditions, from black mold, unworked toilets, leaking pipes on beds, etc. This would not be a good environment for someone with a weakened immune system. It says the deceased and witness stated they would only receive a minimum amount of breakfast at 4:30-ish in the morning that you need to be awake to receive, and the same goes with pill call, one turkey sandwich and lunch, and no dinner. If the detainee doesn't have the resources to purchase food from the commissary, then they will go without enough calories and nutrients to function. Someone with this type of serious illness needs more food to have the strength to survive. The record says medical records detailed out at least a couple of assaults that witnesses concerned happened. One from staff, one from detainees. No incident reports given by CCSO. Byers says CCSO refers to the Clayton County Sheriff's Office, which runs the Clayton County Jail.
What can we do to make sure that someone doesn't have to live through this again?
Byers confirmed one document indicates a number of medical requests from Willison. Byers says the inmate was mistakenly listed in jail records as Williamson, and that one entry was dated November 23rd, more than 2 months before Willison's death. Quote, need to go to the hospital. I have major pain and something wrong with private parts. Byers says it appears Willison was not diagnosed with testicular cancer until after he arrived in jail, that he did receive some treatment inside and outside the jail. He says a couple of jail medical contractor, nurse practitioners did a good job. Byers says Willison was pronounced dead at an area hospital. He acknowledged a sheriff's office incident report said Willison suffered from severe medical issues in which he was diagnosed prior to his arrival to Clayton County Jail. Byers says that was erroneous, and the report also listed the wrong hospital. Now, besides trying to reach the sheriff, we attempted to reach someone from the firm we understand to be the medical vendor. Not that we're casting aspersions on their role. Byers says it is difficult to discern the exact nature of interaction between the sheriff's office and in-house medical workers. Tracy Emerson says her son was 32 when he died. We've been told that in February, the commission approved more than $3 million at the request of the sheriff's office to fix locks, windows, toilets, and other issues. Reporting live, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
The Clayton County Sheriff's Office has been accused of mistreating detainees for years. On October 26th, the same day Willison was booked at the jail, Former Sheriff Victor Hill was convicted of violating the constitutional rights of detainees when he strapped them into restraint chairs for hours. Last month, the judge sentenced Hill to 18 months in federal prison, 6 more years of supervised release. Right now, early voting is underway for the race to replace the convicted sheriff. Interim Sheriff LaVon Allen is going against former Deputy Clarence Cox. Early voting is underway and the runoff election is a week from today.